This tip is very important, and if you don't do it, the first two tips will not matter. Alright, so for our first thing that I'm gonna say to help you get better at Rainbow, one thing I'm gonna say is this: what do you need to work on, right? What I mean is, what are you having trouble with, right? If you are having trouble with aiming, well, go into a T hunt and practice how to aim, right? For example, let's say you're having trouble uh, headshotting people. What you do is you go into a T hunt, okay, and you walk around the map and you try to shoot people in the head. Try to one tap them, right? If you're having trouble with your crosshair placement, what you do is again you go into a T hunt and you walk around the map, aiming down sights, and you make sure your crosshair is on head level or at crouch level. That's how you fix that problem, right? And that also leads me to another thing. All right, you need to learn from your mistakes. Okay, let's say you're on Oregon and you get spawn peaked from small tower, and this happens to you 6 games in a row, right? You need to from now on remember that spawn peak and think to yourself, oh man, I got spawn peaked here before. Let's not let that happen again, right? And that's very important because if you know where someone is going to come from, then you can be better prepared for it, right? It makes sense, right? So that's my second tip. You have to learn from your mistakes. You need to self-analyze. What are you doing wrong? Every time you die, you should be thinking, okay, how could I have played that better? What could I have done that could have had me survive or had my teammates survive or let me win the game, right? Make sure you think about that every single time. It's very important, really. It's one of the easiest ways to get better at the game. If you know what you're having trouble with from self-analyzing, then you can focus on that and you can just fixate on that one thing that you're having trouble with, right? Now, now you might be thinking, well, how do I know what I have trouble with? I have this little thing I like to call the triangle of skill in Rainbow Six Siege, right? So it's like a little triangle, right? So on the left corner of the triangle, it's mechanical skill. Mechanical skill is how well is your aim? How well are you able to move around a map? How well are you able to move your controller? I mean, and move your character? Or how well are you able to quick peek? Stuff like that, right? Stuff like that. Earlier when I said to focus on like the headshots and your crosshair placement, that is mechanical skill, right? On the bottom right of the triangle, there's such something called game sense. Now, how you build game sense is you have to play the game. Remember my other tip when I said that learn from your mistakes. If you get spawn peaked from the same area multiple times, or now you should know to watch out for that spawn peak. That's game sense. But game sense is also this: knowing where your opponent is going to come from, right? Let's say you're in a 1v1 situation. This happens with pro players all the time. You see it all the time, right? For somehow, these players predict where you are without them joining you out or anything. You didn't make no noise, but they still knew you were there. They pre-fired that. That's because they have game sense. They know where people are coming from. So how you build game sense is honestly all you could do really is just play the game. That's really it. You have to play the game. You have to keep playing and you have to self-analyze and you have to think about, okay, has this happened to me before? From my past experiences playing Rainbow, somebody always came from this hallway or that hallway or this hallway or this other hallway. That's how you build your game sense. You have to play the game and you have to think, what am I doing wrong? How can I fix that? Okay. And another thing I'm gonna say is this: on the tippity top of that triangle is information. How you use your information. What do I mean by that? Let's say somebody says that, oh, Blackbeard is on big window on pool, right? On pool. How do you respond to that, right? Let's say you're on Sunrise Stairs and you are about to run inside of pool, but you know there's a Blackbeard on that window, right? You just got that information, and how do you use it, right? Do you ignore it? Does it go out? Does it go inside of one ear and out the other? It shouldn't do that. When you hear that, you should think about, okay, Blackbeard is on big pool window. Where am I compared to that call out? Oh, okay, I'm on Sunrise Stairs. Okay, I'm good. But how can you use that information? What plays can you make? Can you go into Sunrise Bar and maybe use the small window watching pool to like shoot him? You have to use the information that you get wisely. All right. Alright, so that little thing I gave you, that was mainly for tip 1 and 2. What do you need to work on and learn from your mistakes, alright? My third tip is this, alright? And this tip is very important. If you do not do this tip, the first 2 tips will not matter, okay? It will not matter. The third tip is this: be a team player, okay? What is a team player? Y'all know that guy that always says, oh, hey, yo, there's somebody on Sunrise Stairs, there's somebody inside of a VIP, there's somebody inside of kitchen, service entrance, the guy that gives callouts, the guy that asks, hey, yo, do you need an operator? What you need? That guy. You have to be that guy. You have to ask your teammates what they need. Are you good? All that. You have to be a team player, all right? That also leads into this. Also being a team player is this: if you don't have a hard breacher on every lineup, you're making a mistake. Unless that site specifically does not call for it, and there's not that many sites, right? If you don't have a hard breacher, you're making a mistake. You're not being a team player. If you don't see a hard breacher, then you have to take the L and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be a team player. I'm gonna go that hard breacher, okay? And then you have to think, okay, who can support the hard breacher? There's Twitch, there's Kelly, there's Thatcher. Okay, Thatcher's banned most of the time, so I'm gonna go either Cali or Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Those are direct supporting operators for the hard features. Or if you want to be an indirect supporter of the hard feature, you can go Zafir, you could go Ash, or you could go Buck, or maybe Sledge, depending on where the site is. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about this stuff if you want to be a team player, because it doesn't matter how good you are, right? You guys have, I'm sure all of you have had those games where you dropped 15 kills, you went 15 and 2 at Rainbow, you got all the kills. The game was amazing, right? But your teammates all got 2 full 5 kills and you still lost the game. What does that mean to you? That means you have to work as a team. This is a team-based game. It does not matter how good you play if your teammates doesn't play right. All right? You have to be organized. You have to work together. Right? All of you have to be a team player. You have to work together, and you have to fix your team's weaknesses, right? If your entire team is a team of fraggers that get kills, one weakness of your team is that you guys maybe won't have the right equipment. Example, y'all might not have you might not have a hard breacher because all y'all are fraggers. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, somebody has to take the L and go a hard breacher, right? So you get what I mean, right? Like, you have to be a team player. You have to work together. You have to give callouts. Don't just sit there on the mic and not do anything, right? Don't just sit on the cams and not do anything. Use those cams. Ping. Give callouts. Go operators that you need. Do something. Be a team player.